Hi everyone, so we're back here for our psychology lesson. So we've been looking at self-awareness over the last couple of weeks. We've done 2 weeks, this is our third week. We've been looking at self-awareness because it's really important for you to understand and recognise where you are yourself. Now, coaches and parents can tell you, you can do this, you can do that, you're really good at this. If you just worked on this or thought about this a little bit more, you'll improve. But until it comes from you and you take responsibility for it, the biggest improvements won't come. So it's really important for you to have a little think about where you are in your swimming. So this is what we're doing. It really does help as well that you remember that you are completely unique. So your psychology sheets that you're doing, your awareness wheels, your mental attitudes questionnaires, they're going to look completely different to the person next to you in the lane. You might have the same county times, you might have the same stroke as them, but you will have something completely different that you're going to be working on, and you're all really, really unique. And it's really important for you to remember that. We know that as coaches, and we do give you different things that you'll be working on, but you also need to recognise that as well. You are all completely unique. You have this completely different strengths, and you have completely different things that you'll need to work on to be the best that you can in the pool. And that goes for also outside of life. You can use this in any sort of like thing that you're doing. It could be in different sports, it could be for school, in anything you're doing. So we've started to look at self-awareness. As we've said, we've done those 2 other forms that we did last week. Remember, you need to keep them because we will come back to them. They're not something we do as a one-off. We keep going back, we review them, we look at where we need to continue to work. You may find that one area will creep up, and another area may drop down, and we have to go back and look at that. So it's really, really important. If you don't like to keep the paper, take a photo of them and just store it on your computer somewhere, and then you've got it. So this week, we're still going to continue to have a look at self-awareness. This is really going to help you reach your peak performance, the best that you can be. So the more you understand about yourself, the better you can look at improving the areas that you need to and be the best that you can be when it comes to being in the pool training as well as competing. So this week we are looking at self-image, okay? How you view yourself. And really, sometimes to do this, you need to take yourself a little bit out of your brain, and you almost need to put yourself as a camera on the wall looking down at yourself, a fly on the wall looking at yourself. And we'll talk a little bit about that later. But you need to have a little look. How do I view my self-image? What do I look like? How do I do this? And that's what we're going to do today. So let's have a little look first at how self-image works. So, and the importance of it, because it is really important. It's an important part of psychology. So, first of all, how do you view yourself? Do you think that when you get behind the block, you stand and you bounce, you look really confident? Or do you stand and you chew your goggles and you're really thinking, or maybe you feel quite nervous and you're chewing your goggles because there's something to do and you're not really sure what else to do? How do you view yourself? Okay, are you a breaststroker? Do you think, well, I'm a breaststroker, I can't do anything else? Are you a trainer? You're like, I love training. Training's good. Maybe not competing. Are you a sprinter? Do you say, even though we're always saying to you, you can't decide what you are if you're a sprinter or a distance swimmer until you've gone through puberty? Do you say to us, no, I'm a sprinter. I only like doing 1 length or 2. That's it. How do you view yourself at the moment? Okay, so that's your self-image. This directly affects your attitudes. Do you have an I can do this attitude? Doesn't matter what your coach throws at you, you're like, I can do that. I can do this. I see the point of this. I can do that. If I work really hard at this, I know that I'm going to get here to here. Or do you think, I'm a sprinter. I don't want to do all this long distance training, so I'm not going to. What's your attitude towards training, towards racing, towards anything, to taking responsibility for yourself, packing your kit bag? Is it easier to let mum do it or dad? When you rock up to the pool and you haven't got a drinks bottle and we say, well, where's your drinks bottle? And then you go, mum hasn't put it in. That's your attitude towards everything that you're doing. So your self-image directly affects your attitude, and your attitudes directly affect your expectations. So these are your goals, where you want to go and what you want. So we're having a think, what do I want to do? I want to be a county swimmer. I want to be a regional swimmer. I want to be a national swimmer. My goal is to get here. Okay, so the attitudes that you have will directly affect the expectations, the goals that you want, which will affect your behaviours, how you train, how you race, which will affect your performance, which goes back to self-image. This is a circle and it's continually cycling around, okay? Now, if we're positive and we've got a good self-image, you're like, yeah, I can do this. I'm really, really positive towards training, towards getting my goal. I think I can do this. I'm not just a breaststroker. I'm going to work on my butterfly and my IM as well. I know that I can't specialise just yet. I've got to listen to the coaches and work hard on everything. If your self-image is telling you that you know these things and it's positive, your attitude's going to be positive. I'm going to get in and work really hard on everything I can do. I can do this. Okay, I know that I might not like this set, but I know the benefits of it, and I know if I work hard, I'm going to get something out the other side. Positive towards everything you do. It's my responsibility to pick up my kit. It's my responsibility to make sure I've got everything in my kit, make sure I'm ready to go, make sure I'm on time and I'm early for my dynamic warm-up. Positive self-image, positive attitudes. And of course, if you've got positive attitudes, you're going to have positive expectations and goals. So that means you're going to be like, yeah, I know that if I work hard, I can get a county time. I know that if I train 4 or 5 times a week, I'm going to get my regional time. I know if I put absolutely everything into the sets properly and I work hard and I really, really go for it, then I'm going to get my county time. And I know when it comes to performing, I'll have done all this work that will put me in a good place to get there. Now, obviously, the opposite will happen. If we're positive, the performance will come. We'll have peak performance, it's called peak performance. If we're negative, even in any one of these, then it's going to make it really tricky for us to get to where we really want to be. So if we think, oh, I'm not built for swimming, or I'm not built to be a breaststroker, or I'm not tall enough, my arms aren't long enough for backstroke, then we're immediately going to go, I'm not going to work hard on backstroke. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to get county time in backstroke. I don't even want to bother trying. We're not going to be motivated or behave well in training. We're not going to be the best we can be, and we're not going to get the performance that we need. And that backstroke self-image about not being a backstroker, I'm not having long enough arms, may actually affect your performance in other strokes, because your backstroke is obviously key to keeping your shoulders stabilised when we're training. So you may have missed out on key training because you didn't like backstroke. Sounds quite complicated, but it's about that negative and positive thought process and how it affects everything that you do. So what are you going to do this week? So we've had a look at self-image and how it affects everything. It's got this cycle that we constantly go round. And we know that we have to try and think positively. But how do you think? So you were handed out a self-awareness questionnaire. It's from this book that I love. And I talked to you about it before. It's Mental Skills for Swimmers. I've done a lot of the things in here myself, and when I was at uni I did some my dissertation actually on a lot of mental skills and the psychology of swimming, and actually drop out in swimming, but it's really good. So you've been given a questionnaire, and some of the questions on here I was going to actually take out, but I thought actually these are really good things just for you to think about, and we may not use moving forward, but it just gives you this better picture of your self-image. What do you think you look like within the swimming context? So starts with a really simple question: how long have you been swimming? And I really enjoy competitive swimming for the following reasons. Now, I know this is going to look really different for every single person. Some of you come because you just like doing the exercise. Some of you like coming because you like to see your friends. Some of you like coming because you really want to be better at what you do. Some of you come because you love training. One of my biggest things when I used to swim was that I loved training. I loved the feel that you got after a really good training set, and I loved being there with my friends. So why is it? What is it that you really enjoy? Why is it that you keep coming back night after night to do your training and work really hard? Then you're going to switch it around and say, well, however, there are some things that I don't really enjoy about my sport. I know that mine used to be too many early mornings. I used to do 3 early mornings a week, and I know but by the Thursday or Friday, my final morning, I'd be like, there are too many early mornings. So early mornings were a complete downer for me. Everything else I absolutely loved. 1 morning a week, 2 mornings a week were fine. My third, some weeks I'd say I'm not going. So early mornings were a bit of a downer for me. What about you? What really works for you? What doesn't work for you? I know that also I wasn't the most favourable towards competing. I loved the training, but I didn't enjoy competing so much, normally because everything I was competing in were the shorter distances, which weren't really my thing. I wanted to do longer distance, and it wasn't that much that I could always compete in. So what are the things that you don't enjoy? Maybe it's training. Maybe you don't like swimming the long distance sets. Maybe you don't like the butterfly sets. What is it that you don't enjoy about your sport, swimming? Then we're going to ask you to recall a race that you swam really, really well and how you felt after it. You know, when you do something, you get out and you're like, oh, I managed to get that tumble turn right. Or, yes, I got my county time. How did you feel after it? Was it relief? Was it just pure excitement? Did you just want to punch the air? How did you feel after you swam really, really well? Okay. Then you're going to have a little think. When a coach tells you you've done a great job in training or in a competition, how do you feel? So when we tell you something, you know, you did that really well today. That was a really, really good set of work. We're really impressed. That's the best I've ever seen you do that. How does that make you feel? Oh, well done. We had 3 things we were going to remember in that race, and you remembered all 3 of them and you got them spot on. How does it make you feel when a coach tells you you've done a great job in a race? Just jot down a few notes. Then obviously there's the other side. Coaches need to tell you where you've gone wrong and that you've not done something well. If you get in the pool and keep swimming and we never tell you that that set wasn't done right, or we know you didn't work hard at that, or we know you didn't do that set to the best of your ability, you'll always cruise at this very, very this kind of medium level. You can be as self-motivated as you like, but unless we pick you up on your stroke technique, on things that you can do to improve, then it's going to be quite tricky for you to keep moving up. It's a two-way thing between coaches and swimmers. We have to help you, and then you have to help yourself. So how does it feel when we tell you that you've done something right? It might be, I'm thinking of squads 1 and 2, I pull you out and I say, that is not how you swim the set. I know you can swim that a million times better. You're not even out of puff. You're not red. You're not really, 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 look like you've pushed yourself, and that's supposed to be a hard set. It could be that we pull you out and say, look, how many times we've got to keep nagging you. You've got to streamline off the wall. The streamlining is the most important thing. You have to streamline off the wall. How does it feel when a coach tells you you've done something wrong in training or in a competition? How does it make you feel? Does it make you feel, go, okay, I'm not getting that right, I need to improve it? Or does it make you feel, oh, I'm not even going to bother trying because I can't get it right? How does it make you feel? Have a think. How do you feel when you're told that you need to do something different or something a little bit better? The next one, so on sheet 2, you're going to take yourself out of your brain, really, and you're going to be a fly on the wall. Now, if you've got a film, if your parents have done a film footage of you racing, it'd be really nice if you kind of watch yourself. If you haven't, then you can kind of just take yourself out of your brain and go back and picture yourself swimming in a bit of training or in a competition, ideally a competition. And we want you to write down and describe, without comparing yourself to anyone, and just focus on yourself on these 3 areas. So how were you physically? How was your body? Were you crouched over and head down? Or you stood really focused at the start of your race? Were you bouncing around full of energy? How was your body? Were you swinging your arms? Were you warmed up? Were you relaxed, or were you really tense? Okay, how was your body before you got into that race? How was your body during that race? How were you mentally? How was your brain before you do this race? Okay, if you've got film footage, you can probably look back and go, oh yeah, I was really confident. I was like, yeah, I really enjoyed this. There was a big crowd. They were all cheering. Maybe it was the final for something, for your school's gala. It was really exciting and I just really wanted to do the best I could. Or you might think there was a really big crowd that made me feel really nervous. And my brain was like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. Oh my goodness, there's all these people watching me. Okay, everybody's going to have completely different on this bit. And then your emotional side, your feelings. So how were you feeling? Were you feeling really nervous? Were you feeling excited? Were you completely not aware of anything that was going on? Just jot those down. Then you can do something quite hard. I certainly find this quite hard when I was younger. And until I went to uni and did the psychology of sport, I did find it really random that people would ask you to do this. But you're going to choose 4 words that best describe you as a person and then as a competitive swimmer. So what are the 4 things? 4 words. It's only 1 word, okay? And then you just use it, have four of them, 4 words to describe yourself. So it could be, as a person, I am enthusiastic. I work hard. I'm trying to think what I could put now. Enthusiastic, work hard, happy, and caring. Make those 4 as a person. And then as a competitive swimmer, I would say that, let's have a look. What would I put? Enthusiastic again, and work hard. It's funny how they're in both areas, as a person, as a competitive swimmer. I would probably put a little bit underconfident for myself. I'm underconfident in those shorter distances. I don't like them that much. But then the longer distances, I'm quite confident and I enjoy them. So you're going to put 4 words that best describe you as a person, as a competitive swimmer. Okay? Then you're going to write your strengths as an athlete. So I work hard. I train hard. I have a great dive. I know my underwater phase is really good. My technique is good. And then you're going to do your limitations as an athlete. So it might be that I don't like training. I know I don't work as hard as what I could. It could be, I know I don't streamline off every wall and I need to. It could be, I need to work on my underwater work, or my leg kick. I need to develop my leg kick. So that's the two sheets that we're going to get you to do this week. You might think, why am I doing this? But it's really, really important that you understand your self-image. Because when you understand your self-image, you will start taking responsibility for your attitudes, your goals, how you behave to get to those goals, and then your performance will improve and you will reach that peak performance. Okay, I think I've said before, as coaches, we can only do so much, and as parents, we can only do so much. We can drip, 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 drip in all these areas. You know, you can do this, if you did this, you can do that. But until you take on that responsibility yourself, okay, none of these things will start to change. We won't reach that peak performance. So it's really important. Have a look at your self-image. What can we do to help improve it and move through the cycle? I remember being very, very young, probably about 9 or 10, and someone saying to me, if someone said it's really good to live in a tidy bedroom and then they sent you to clean your room, would you go and do it? And I said, well, no, I like my room dirty and untidy. And I didn't really want to go and do it, so I didn't. But if I actually thought about it, about my self-image, that I was always in screwed up clothes, and that actually I'd pulled on a jumper that had some dirt on it because it had my tea down it from the other night, and actually I could never find anything, and my schoolwork was all over the place, and therefore I had a bit of a not so great attitude towards it, which meant I probably wasn't going to get, very far in my GCSEs and my behaviours and performance and things, then I might have actually tidied my room. Small comparison, but it's about that will again, okay? I hope that makes sense. If you've got any questions, you can always come back to us. The questions for the questionnaire are quite simple and straightforward, but if you do need any help with any of them, then do pass them on. Like I said last week, if you complete the form, then you can keep that for yourself. If you want to share it with a coach, that's great. It does help us because we think, oh, we didn't realise that's how you felt before a race, or that's really interesting that you think that about your technique or about that whatever part. So you can share them with your coaches. If you don't, it's fine for you to keep working through these things, because it's all about you realising where you are, your self-image, and then going on this cycle of improvement and positivity. Right, I hope that's helped. Next week, we're going to be, let me have a look at my my list of things to do. So next week, we're going to do something called the thinking game. So we've looked at self-awareness, we've looked at mental attitudes, technique, your self-image, and then we're going to do the thinking game. So we're going to really get inside your brain and have a little think about certain situations and how you think about them. Hope you've enjoyed this week. We'll see you next week for the next instalment. Bye.